The pain is real, guys.
Now, the first thing you do is reach for the biscuit.
Savage.
Left the tongue stain, let my what hang, falling short breath, thought my lungs cave, I'm a nuisance, and these blueprints prove right like Buddhists, can't do my work.
Now that I have the possibility to stay home and pursue my daily workout routine, plus listening to Ariana Grande songs, I need quick plus tasty food in my life that fuels me up and helps me to overcome that beloved math class.
I'm late.
Not only is this food going to blow your mind again, it's equally healthy, plus lazy and quick to make. Just try some of the recipes next week and see for yourself.
So I just quickly wanted to jump in here and say how much I actually adore making these Chinese one-pot noodles. You'd have to use glass noodles for this. These ones I actually love so much, better than regular pasta. I swear to God, I adore it. It's so easy to make. Okay. Let's get to it.
Peel half of an onion, a piece of ginger, and 1 to 2 cloves of garlic. You don't necessarily have to use a red onion here, but I don't know, I just find them a bit more tasty. Mince everything roughly and let that simmer with some water first on medium heat. After 5 minutes or so, add a little bit of peanut oil. Peanut oil is really good. Then the ginger and garlic. I also found some frozen pumpkin in my freezer, so I added that. You can add any veggies of your choice here, that's the cool thing. So zucchini or spinach works, really everything. Now add a lot more water and the rice/glass noodles that I announced already. Let all of that simmer for around 12 minutes, maybe cover it with a lid. This is a one-pot recipe, so it's all made in one pot. So easy and lazy, I love it. If you were to use whole wheat pasta, it will take, I think, almost twice as long to cook, so just keep that in mind. As for my spices, I chose some cayenne pepper, aka chili, curry powder, garam masala spice mix, another random Asian Chinese special Thai mix from Lidl, lots of soy sauce, a teaspoon of tomato paste, and some date syrup for sweetness. And just let that simmer for a bit until done. Here I have some more pak choy, which I just add to this almost cooked dish, and I let that simmer out with some more water. Pak choy just needs a couple of seconds to wilt down like spinach, I guess. Optional but recommended for creaminess would be to add some coconut milk, like a tablespoon or so. And then we have the one and only liquid gold, peanut butter. To make this a Thai stir-fry peanut butter noodle dish. Yeah, I can't even tell you how much I love that. Also really good would be to add some crushed peanuts on top. And there you go. I love meal prepping this every once in a while with some carrots or so.
If I could eat one meal for the rest of my life, it would be that.
Next up we have some BBQ TAHINI Tofu Wrap. Now, I know what you're thinking, like tofu is so boring, I know tofu is boring, but smoked tofu in this wrap just hits me every single time. I'm not a soy girl, gotta admit. But yeah, here's how to make it, and you've gotta make that. Chop up like half a block of tofu, smoked tofu, into cubes or so, smaller chunks. Measurements down below, by the way. Let that come to a simmer in a medium-sized pan or pot with some water again, trying to keep things healthy always. Then add some dried onions, can be substituted with fresh onion, a bit of garlic powder, cayenne pepper, sweet paprika powder, and then, I know, Italian spices. It sounds weird, but it tastes so incredibly good. Then there's barbecue sauce and a bit of tomato paste. I'm mixing that all in, and that combo of the smoky smoked tofu and barbecue sauce with the Italian spices, oh my god. I also added lemon juice. Well, now so we're toasting up that wrap a little bit. Just don't burn it. Alright, we have basil on hand, and there's some corn and some salad and some seeds. I really just add anything that I like at this point. I also got the super sweet and cute, super yummy cherry tomatoes that my dad gave me. Now there's the time to top this thing with more condiments. Like, for example, some avocado and avocado topping, which is so unnecessary in my opinion. But yeah, that's what the wrap looks like from the inside. And it is really good. I recommend doing this. You could even add like hummus or vegan butter or whatever. Really, it's so good.
Underrated, dude. I just started eating breakfast like regularly a lot, like breakfast. It's amazing.
It's just as pretty as this holy guacamole avocado book. It's really good. This chocolate pudding has gained new importance in my life again due to a friend who suggested it to me last year in Australia, or just reminded me of the existence of chocolate pudding. So I grabbed this chocolate pudding custard powder, and I know I just made like some kind of dessert breakfast pudding. But if you don't have custard powder, just substitute this with regular cornstarch. To a, I'd say, larger pot, I then added 500 milliliters, which is like 2 cups or a bit more of oat milk. Then the remaining custard powder I just mixed up with oat milk to make that whole cooking process just way easier on yourself. First up, bring the oat milk. I never use any other milk. I love oat milk so much, but I think a mixture of soy and oat milk would work just as fine. Yeah, I first brought that to a boil. Then once that was boiling, I removed it from the heat, added in the mixture, the chocolate mixture with the custard powder. Then 2 tablespoons or so of cacao powder, just to reinforce that whole chocolate experience, because chocolate is life every time. Then there's some more date syrup, and you just wanna let that cook up once more. Once that has been bubbling a little bit and made your kitchen smell amazing, you can then add a little bit of protein powder if you want to, I don't know, just make that an even better dessert or breakfast, I guess. I really like the texture. I love this pudding.
So chocolatey.
It's like childhood. You want to make sure to chop that with peanut butter, right? Because peanut butter is also life. And peanut butter and chocolate, it was amazing. I love this for breakfast or anything really. I also had this Actimel and found it so cool that a non-vegan company is even starting to produce plant-based alternatives. This one was super yummy. Don't know if we only have this in Germany. The next award on my snack/dessert scale definitely goes to this rice cake. It's a peanut butter rice cake classic. with the convenience not having to buy bread all the time, because corn, crackers or rice cakes, you just always have them on hand. So I just needed to share this. It's so much better than like boring other creations that I saw on the internet before. So here we go. To the rice cake or corn cracker, which I prefer, add the peanut butter, then some peanuts and a pinch of salt, followed by banana slices and maybe some like raisins or dried berry type of thing if you like. This was way too much cinnamon at this point. But I have that predisposition to just over cinnamon everything. I could eat cinnamon with a spoon, I think. So now we have better baked beans. Not boring straight out of the can. No, we are once again reinforcing the flavor with all of our spices as always. It's just so much better when you add like 2 tablespoons of tomato paste to the baked beans, then some salt, garlic powder, pizza spice aka Italian seasoning, you can't have too much of that, some more black pepper if you like, and then mix it up with some water to smooth it out. I also stumbled up on this vegan butter alternative called Rama here in Lidl, Germany. And it's just so good. I have this weird butter craving recently, and this bread, like sourdough bread, was so good with like hummus and that butter, some herbal salt. I was shocked. It was so good, like just butter on bread. I've missed that. Then we have some more basil on the baked beans. And lemon juice, don't forget lemon juice, it's indispensable.
I miss you.
So this was last Monday's breakfast, which was crazy creative once again. It was kind of chill outside, so I made this warming lentil dal wrap thingy by just cooking up lentils with some ginger. Red lentils cook super fast, by the way, like 10 minutes max. I added in different condiments like curry powder, sweet and smoked paprika, garlic powder. And then also this spice mix. It is actually really helpful to sometimes just have spice mixes on hand. Most of them are meant to be for like meat dishes, but you can still use the mixture without any meat and substitute with like lentils and stuff to make it so extremely tasty. The flavor boost I'm adding here is just a little bit of honey and some tomato paste and coconut milk for that creamy mixture, which was literally done in 10 minutes. Whilst this was cooling down, I made myself a little beetroot shake. Beetroot is a underestimated cheap superfood, which is so tasty and good for you if you use it the right way. To my blender, I just added various different berries, then some frozen banana, flax seeds, a little bit of Lidl protein powder, some beetroot chunks, coconut milk, and cinnamon. I blended that all up using some more oat milk. So obsessed with oat milk. To a glass jar with ice cubes for the aesthetics and flavor. It's just so much better. I added that pink mixture. I just love it so much. And that was it. Whilst I was slurping on this, I then toasted up that last protein wrap that I had, spread on the lentil mixture, added some more corn, some celery chunks. I can't really explain that technique of mine that I'm using here, but just kind of fold that wrap and let it toast up a little bit more. top this with peanut butter because lentil curry and peanut butter with the celery goes so well together. Add anything that you like on top and get back to studying. Another classic recipe that just needed to be shared are these pumpkin fries. So underestimated. Yeah, I actually made a whole video devoted to pumpkin. Not kidding. I just couldn't live without. So please, I dare you to just try it. Just chop up the pumpkin into like larger fries, I'd say. The only not simple thing about this could be the cumbersome task to remove the pumpkin seeds, but that's basically it. You just have to bake this at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't even take 15 minutes. Maybe just hit it under the broiler for a little bit to let it get like to a grilled stage. It's so much better that way. Now for spices, I would highly recommend going for seasoning for fries. If you don't have that, substitute with smoked and sweet paprika powder mixed with like garlic powder, and then add some salt and pepper to it. And now you're done. It's honestly so delicious on its own. My mom just eats them plain. She's obsessed with it. But I like dipping this in some ketchup or hot sauce or even hummus. It's so simple. I shared this recipe multiple times by now. It's still one of the classics. Now, if you're hungry for more or just need a snack or something, I encourage you to jump over to this video, which was an installment of new breakfast ideas like cheesy taco wraps, carrot cake oatmeal, or this life-changing peanut butter granola, for example. I was so happy about getting so many views on this video, so it kind of has to be good. I mean, the food was incredibly nice, I'm so grateful for all of you, and yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye!